My game day pilgrimage up to the top of the upper deck. That is downtown Nashville, that is Broadway, and this is a stadium that the 49ers may be playing in for the final time today. That's because they're about to build a $2.1 billion stadium on this site. The most public money ever for a stadium. Over 1.2 billion has been voted for and secured. And by the time the 49ers play here next, might be, I think on the 8-year rotation, it's going to be 2029. If they get the new Nissan Stadium finished by that time, then the 49ers will play their game, their regularly scheduled game here in Nashville in 2029 in the new stadium, as it's supposed to open in 2027. Anyway, we're about an hour away from kickoff. This is the first stadium tour of 2024, and I'm getting used to the new gimbal today. Those of you joining, the 49ers will not have their starters playing today except for the offensive line. The offensive line is going to be everybody minus Trent Williams, who's scheduled to be fined $1.11 million for missing this game. Trent Williams continues to hold out. He's already been fined a total of $650,000 for missing 13 practices, $50,000 per practice. Those are mandatory fines, and now he's set to be fined $1.11 million for continuing to hold out. The 49ers obviously want to resolve the Trent Williams contract situation. They want to resolve the Brandon Ayuk contract situation as well. He is not scheduled to be fined for his practices that he's missed so far, $40,000 per practice if he hadn't been at the facility, but the hold-in has allowed Brandon Ayuk to avoid that. But the 49ers can fine Brandon Ayuk up to $785,000 for missing this preseason game if they so choose to. That is up to the team's discretion. All right, so I'm going to show you guys some of the construction going on here. We're going to flip the camera. Looks like we're covered a little bit by the there. That's a little bit better. The gimbal is a little heavy right now, I think. Well, the phone weight is a little bit heavy because I've got the mic on. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay with the mic on. So we're a little blocked with the view here. Yeah, I might have to take the phone out of the gimbal with this new mic setup that we've got. The audio supposedly is good though, so that's good. And this is all right too. Here's a look at the field. I'll get better at the gimbal. For now, you'll have to deal with a slightly worse shot, but that's all you need to see. Nissan Stadium, downtown Nashville, right off of Broadway. It's about 83 degrees here today. We got lucky. This time of the year could be a whole lot worse in this part of the country. We're blocked again. I'm gonna take this off the gimbal. Give me a second, guys. This might get a little shaky for a second, but it's gonna be very worth it. There we go. Gimbal's done for now. We're putting that sucker on the ground, and we are looking out at downtown Nashville and Nissan Stadium. So when they say 2.1 billion, that's the most I've ever heard for a stadium. I know SoFi was well over $1 billion. I know that the costs go up due to inflation. I'm not sure if this is already part of the new stadium project. It probably is, because this thing's supposed to open in 2027, which is not that long for now. I do wonder if this is already part of the lower bowl that they're building here. I know everything has been approved, but $2.1 billion, 60,000 seats, it's gonna be indoors. I mentioned that what we see right now here in Nashville is under 83 degree skies. Perfect skies, by the way. Normally it's hotter here in August. This is summertime in the South. So I think the 49ers caught a little bit of a break, and the fans, see a lot of 49ers fans here, caught a little bit of a break coming to Nashville on August 10th and it not being 90 degrees. And it doesn't feel nearly as humid as it normally is either. So I don't want to say it's pleasant, but it's a lot better than it can be. And when we talk about the new stadium, it's going to be inside or retractable roof. I think they'll have an inside option for sure. When we talk about that, it's necessary here because in August and September, it could still be very, very hot for some of those first games. Kind of like Santa Clara gets really, really hot. That's why they don't schedule early games. They don't schedule afternoon games in Santa Clara in early September. The NFL tries to give the 49ers a break. Anyway, those of you joining, this is the Stadium Tour Series. Shouldn't be covering the camera. Should be giving you guys a nice view of Nashville as the 49ers are about to take on the Titans week 1 of the preseason. Now, I know I have a good audience. Please don't be like some of my audience on Twitter that is freaking out about Nick Bosa not being here. Now, you know, what are those people talking about, by the way, Nick Bosa not being here? Looks like Nick Bosa is here. He's with Jerry Rice right there. So, and Christian McCaffrey makes an appearance as well. You know, he actually didn't travel. The guys who are hurt, for sure, they don't want to go. They don't want to put a wrench in their rehab by getting on a cross-country flight or close to it. And beyond that, Nick Bosa could be fully healthy, but why does Nick Bosa have to come if the 49ers excuse him if he wants to continue lifting weights back at the team facility? Doesn't make a lot of sense to freak out about week 1 of the preseason. So this stadium is actually not all that old, but it was built right before a wave of newer stadiums was built and the technology quickly became outdated. The Tennessee Titans were formerly the Houston Oilers. The Houston Oilers moved to the state of Tennessee, and first they moved to Memphis. They played in Memphis for a year, and they were called the Tennessee Oilers during that season in Memphis. Then they moved to Nashville, and they played at Vanderbilt Stadium, which is a few miles away from here. Then this stadium was completed, Nissan Stadium. I believe the year was around 1999 or 2000. The most famous play to happen at this stadium was the Music City Miracle. It was a kickoff return that beat the Buffalo Bills in the playoffs. It may or may not have been a forward pass. They said it wasn't. That happened on this field here at Nissan Stadium. Now we sit here about a quarter century later, and it has been determined that this stadium is outdated and they need a new one. And they've decided to pay $2.1 billion for a new one, including $1.2 billion in public funding. The goal of the city is to also get a Major League Baseball team to build a stadium near here. And you'll have one of the ultimate entertainment districts in the entire country. As you can see right here, you've got the construction going on outside. Here you have the Nashville skyline. Here you have the field where the 49ers and the Titans will play tonight. And then if you zoom in toward there, that's where Broadway is. Broadway is, I would say, more rowdy than Bourbon Street now. So this is kind of like the epicenter of American entertainment now. And it definitely will be as soon as they finish this new stadium and they build up this whole area. Like my car's parked like right there. My car's parked right outside the stadium. That's not gonna be a parking lot anymore once this is done. It's gonna be residential, high rises, bars, restaurants, all that good stuff. You can see people actually streaming across the bridge from Broadway coming into the game. I'm sure these people are liquored up, a lot of them. I'm sure a lot of those people are liquored up. Sorry about the shaky camera. It's the preseason for me too. I'm trying to get the gimbal to work. Anyway, I'm gonna do this before every single game, so like and subscribe. Time for me to head to the press box. I'm in preseason mode. Gimbal's gonna be working for the future. I'm glad that the mic has worked for right now. Everybody take care, enjoy 49ers Titans coming up here from Nissan Stadium in downtown Nashville.